Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's 6 minutes past the hour on this 28th day of August. Welcome to hashtag Truth Be Told. Yours truly, Joe Dupree in the building from 100 BLK, the Black Station. My brother from another mother, you know him from the open line, online, and keeping it real with Reverend Al Sharpton, all in his Angels gear. Anaheim Angels gear, looking good. Brother Fatim got his mic muted, but we're going to let him stay muted for a minute. Listen, family, phone lines are open. Do y'all know what day it is? Excuse me. Do you know what day it is? It's Working Out Wednesday, better known as Hump Day. And yeah, phone lines are wide open. 225-250-8770. That is your number. Call in. We're going to clown today, y'all. We're going to clown today. Good morning, Brother Michael Keith. Good morning, Sister KC. Good morning, Sister Laura Bell, just to name a few. Good morning to everybody who's logging into the chat. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I see you logging in Los Angeles. I see you logging in New York. I see you New Jersey. I see you Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee, just to name a few places. Hold up. I see Missouri just logged on. Big Texas logged on. I see you in Dallas and in Houston. I see you San Antonio. El Paso jumped on. Must be some people out there in Fort Bliss. To all my folks that are serving this country in the armed forces, we salute you. Thank you for your service. We in the building. Good morning, Brother Fatim. Good morning.
Hey, Joe, good morning, my brother. Good morning. Good morning. I needed something to work out on. And let me just say, Sister Jax should be joining us. She has to take care of something that popped up that she had to handle. So she got me when about a little after 8. She didn't want to disturb you at that time, Joe. So she
All
got
good.
to
All
me.
good.
So hopefully she'll be joining us. She has to handle some business there. I just got off the phone with her cousin Casey. Yeah, Casey, I'll go there a little bit. You know, I got a little Gym Chronicles. Oh, on
You got some. Wait a minute.
Gym Chronicles. I ain't gonna go deep in it, but I got some Gym Chronicles.
Okay. Okay. You got some
You
Gym
know,
Chronicles.
Chronicles. You know,
Well, it's good
everywhere
that
I
you're waking
go.
up. It's good that you're waking up and working out. You know, I do about I don't post mine, but I do about 2-3 miles a day on my bike in the morning. So I get that. You know, I love also. I'm like y'all, I just don't post my stuff no more. You know, it's like, I realize something. Most of the time when you post stuff, you have people, friends, followers, and family, friends, followers, and families. F3, friends, followers, and family. But then you got a lot of folks that just there, and some of them are too jealous to like what you post, but they too nosy to unfriend you. So at the end of the day, this social media thing, you got to take it with a grain of salt most of the time, because everybody that's in your circle ain't in your corner. Remember that. Remember that.
I don't give a damn what they do. They can walk on their damn head. If I haven't posted in a couple of days because I didn't. It's one thing that at Planet Fitness they don't want you to take a lot of pictures in there, especially making sure they gotta. Yeah, they don't have to post it, but the guy told me he said make
No,
sure you
no
don't put
voyeur.
nobody in your picture
Yeah,
because
no
you infringe
voyeur.
on them.
Right, right.
So I didn't post there. At the end of the day, I didn't do that, but you know, there's a young lady that goes with me time to time, Yasmin. Dominique, who's been on the show, she was there this morning. She was there Monday, but she came after. She was there this morning. And just getting that workout in. I'll post, and because my cousins post, and it's motivating for me. I don't haters
Yeah.
are gonna hate. And
Right,
or
right.
I don't care if they like or don't like it. I'm not trying to. Me, it keeps pushing me forward. It's showing me. You know how many times I said I was going to do this, and I haven't done it. I've been a member of Planet Fitness going on 3 years. Never stepped in there once till this past Friday.
So
The
so
money
wait a
comes
minute.
out of
Wait,
my
wait,
account.
wait a minute. You've been paying for a membership. Let me
Yes,
get this. The
black
Planet,
card.
you've been playing for the top membership
Damn
for
right.
3 years.
Almost
And
three
you
years.
finally decided
Finally
to go
went.
ahead and, well, hey man, I'm gonna ring the bell and give you a round of applause. You deserve that. Get moving, get motivated, get fit, get it going, brother Fatim. I got nothing but love for you, brother. Get that. Get that. That's what I'm talking about.
Yep. So, Casey's funny. No, 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 no. But yeah. So what happened is, you know, I go back to when I started working out in my. Remember, I'm an athlete. So being an athlete and then going from baseball to softball, you can get up in the morning and go play softball. You know, you don't have to be in the best of shape. But as you get older, but I remember in my 20s, me and my cousin would work out. We would walk around Prospect Park. And when walking around the inside, it would be about 4.5, 5 miles, and the outside was about 6 miles. So we used to do that, and we would get energized, and then we would go out and party. But as I've gotten older, like I said, you know, when my daughters was being picked up, and I shout out to Miss Sharon Mills, who was the one that picked up my daughters. We were talking one day. This is before I started walking, Joe, and she was talking to Hanifa, my wife, and she said, you know, I'm working out. You know, I meet these guys. They in their 30s and their 40s. Even though she was married, she said, but they come up there. They got these big beer bellies. They get in the shower and look down. They can't see their thing.
Oh.
So
Oh, Lord.
So I remember the next morning I got in the shower. I looked down. I said, "Oh shit, my stomach is." You know what I'm saying? So I was like, "Oh hell no!" So the following day, I was out on the track with her. She said, "What got you out here?" I said, "Shit, I did the shower test. And at that particular time, I know I was definitely damn near 280 at the time. But everybody want to say, you tall, you carry your weight. Well, that's a bunch of crock. You understand what I'm saying? It's a bunch of crock. But I joined the gym because I wanted to lose weight, this, that, and the other. But one of the most discouraging things is when you start and you don't stay with it, your eating habits. So this time, last year, I was 244. Not this past Saturday, but Saturday before last, went to the doctor. I'm 228. It's different now. My stomach ain't there. So I go to the gym now. I'm not going there where it's pressing how many calories you burn. I'm not doing that now. I'm doing it for cardio and, you know, endurance and strength and toning. So it's a whole different mindset now. You know, and when people say, "Oh, Fatin, you look good," but now I'm like, you got hypertension and diabetes. For instance, I just was talking about this. I just knew I messed up last night, but I ate not 2 Eggo waffles, but 4 Eggo waffles.
There go my Eggo.
So I just knew my blood sugar was going to be 2 and the better. I woke up this morning and my blood sugar was 161. So I didn't take the pill.
Because your metabolism and because of the working out. You know, at the end of the day, Brother Fatin, like I tell folks, listen, if you take care of yourself, especially as melanated folks can't tell it. I mean, Brother Fatin, people who know this and people who know how to look at you, look at your skin, they look at your hands, they look at your fingernails, like, you know, I'll say it, you know, and I have no fear in saying it. Man, I am so close to 60. And somebody yesterday, while I was talking to him, said, "Man, you know, you shave that white stuff off your face. Man, I wouldn't even think that you were in your probably mid-40s." And I told that person, "Thank you." And I said, the reason I don't shave it off my face is, I like my beard. I'm really trying to grow it out. I'm working right now with different type of the way I take care of my beard. I really want to grow it out. I'm really have committed myself not to shave my beard off at all. Be exact, all I do is trim it very lightly, but I'm not cutting my beard at all ever.
Why do you like, you know, and this is a preference thing. So, you know, it's a preference because I wore a beard at younger because I used to get the hair bumps. So I used to have the hair bumps under there. So I wore a beard when I was younger. If you look at me with Reverend Sharpton in my 20s, early 20s, I had a beard. I don't believe in full big thick beards. I don't care what the whole thing with the whole image with LeBron and all them wearing them and what's his name? Oh, I see him, the beard. They call him the beard. He played for the Nets.
Oh yeah. I know who you're talking about.
I can't call his name right now.
The name eludes me right now.
Exactly, but I don't.
Somebody say it in the chat. Somebody say it in chat. He used to play.
Yeah. But my thing is, again, it's a preference though. So then
Harden.
James James Harden.
James Harden.
So then
Right.
I went to the slim beard coming down, and I'm not saying I won't go back to the slim beard. Just the line and then come across. I wore that for a long, not Hardaway. It's Harden. Thank you.
Yeah,
Out there.
Harden. Right.
Yeah. So I think the beard looks good on you, Joe. I don't like men that grow these beards and it's scraggly. I really don't like this. If it comes in salt and pepper, like salt and pepper, and it's nice like yours, I like that. But when I see these strings and stringy strings thinging,
Well,
I don't like that. I don't like that.
People don't understand. Good beard maintenance is almost like good hair maintenance. You got to wash it. You got to. I mean, a beard.
Just washed mine yesterday.
Listen,
buddy.
It is work. When I tell you it is work, and it's like with you, brother Fatim. I mean, you don't look nowhere close, not even remotely close to your
my
age.
real age, to my real age of 62.
You
to
don't
my
look,
real age of 62, I'll be back at 42 after the show.
Brother, you look like I would have, if I didn't know you and we were just running into each other on the street, there's no way in heaven or hell I would look at you and say, brother, you older than me. Not only are you older than me, you big brother older than me. Be exact, when you graduated high school, I wasn't even in high school. That's when you big brother. I tell people when we were in high school together, you big brother, but we kind of just close to each other. But bruh, I was in junior high when you were in high school. To be exact, you were in college when I was in high school. So you big brother, but you take such good care of yourself, man. And watch this. Not only do you take good care of yourself from a physical standpoint, you take good care of yourself from a mental standpoint. And I tell a lot of folks what manifests in the mental shows up in the physical. You don't stress a lot. You read a lot. You feed your inner man. That's what I do also. And cats look at me and
I need to feed my little man a little bit more, and I'll really be good. Say nothing, Casey. Say nothing. On my head.
Well, you know what I got to say on that one. That's what I got to say on that one, brother. Hey, I get it. The honey badger is here. So but man, listen, it's all about it. I want to, yesterday I started it because I showed a little bit of the Cam Newton interview with Dr. Bryant. And the reason I did that was because so many times on this show, we go down rabbit holes that really are pro-woman. And I have nothing wrong with that because I love all you sisters out there. Listen, and I consider all of you a part of the human race sisters. I'm very much now into my melanated sisters. I'm married to a beautiful melanated sister. I haven't always been that way. As time goes, things change. That's why I tell people be careful on certain things you stand on, because what you stand on today, you may not stand on tomorrow. But I wanted to start bringing up some issues where us fellas could really, and the women could understand this is what's going on with your man, because nobody can tell you what's going on with your man better than another man. And they can talk about Kevin Samuels, and I looked at some old Kevin Samuels last night, and I said to myself the following: I can understand why the sisters were upset, because just like yesterday when Dr. Bryant said a few things, you came back and said, wait a minute, she should say, in my opinion, instead of trying to make it seem like as a woman, this is how a man is, because she don't know how I feel to be us. And I saw some stuff that Kevin said. I said, whoa, Kev, that makes a lot of sense. But the way you delivered it was as if you understand exactly how that feels. And as a man, you can't understand how it feels to be a woman. You never will understand how it feels to be a woman. So,
what he was doing, Joe, first of all, even though I came back, I took that from Dr. Bryant when she's the one that you opened up the clip where she said that I'm not a man, so as a woman I should say. So I took that from her. That's why I said I listen now, and I usually use what they say to make the point that I'm making. There, I watched the thing with Tasha, with Kevin was a guest on Tasha, whatever her name is, Tasha X or whatever, show, and he did an interview. It's different. and he talked about what he was doing. Because first of all, when Kevin Samuels came out, he was getting on men first. He started on
Yeah,
men.
he did.
He started on men, and then he
He did
gravitated to
very
women.
much so.
But he was never trying to say a woman. What he was trying to do is give a reality check to a sister from a man's perspective, that what you're looking for may be out of your league at the particular time where your status is at, and you think that you can catch this person or get this person and hold that person. Depends. So that's why, again, I hate, because Kevin Samuels, and God bless his soul, that his name is a trigger for so many people. Just like R. Kelly, we could talk about R. Kelly's music, but it's a trigger for so many people. So you got to be careful, because a lot of people can't have a good, healthy conversation about Kevin Samuels because they get triggered. For us men, it seems like we're on Kevin Samuels' side. I've always said how he delivered, but he's shock and awe. And sometimes you need the reality, because you're deluding yourself sometimes. Sometimes you're deluding yourself and you're reaching out of your league, because people have told me that. And if I felt that they was wrong, then let me prove that they were wrong. So those sisters that he was giving advice to, then he needed to basically, those sisters needed to prove him wrong. And if they did prove him wrong, guess what? Then they're better than what they present. And they improve themselves. So it's a win-win. It's a win-win.
Hey, so let me switch gears right quick. I'm going to call this segment at 23 minutes past the hour. Give me some good news. I got some good news.
Oh, I thought you was like, give me some good something else. Ah, dang it.
Yeah, you need the honey badger.
It could have been good breakfast. But I ain't say nothing. You see? Fill it in, brother. You see where you going?
Give me some good news.
Breakfast, baby.
So I was not going to share this at first, but then I said I might as well, because sooner or later somebody's going to find out through other means. Give me some good news. So in the chat, if something great is happening in your life, give me some good news. Give me some good news. I got some good news yesterday. Of course, as many folks know, I feel like I am Jamaican mind. That's how many jobs I do. I feel like I'm Jamaican mind. But yesterday, some of you may know or may not know, I do voiceovers. I do voices like for, hold on, let me find it. Here we go. Voiceover.
EA Sports.
Yeah, I do voiceovers. So I do stuff for EA Sports. I do stuff for Call of Duty. I do stuff for LucasArts. So I have always, and I did one of the Mall brothers in LucasArts in a cartoon series called The Clone Wars. So I did the voice of one of the Mall brothers. So I had made a request to a guy, a Mr. Sennheiser. I hope I'm pronouncing Mr. Sennheiser, because it's almost like the microphone. Sennheiser, Mr. Sennheiser, who is one of the producers now at Disney / LucasArts. So I always told him, I said, hey man, I'm getting old. I've been a Star Wars fan since I was a child. One of the worst whoopings I got in my life, in the little town of Henderson, Tennessee, where we had a little movie theater that was literally a screen with a dirt floor that I snuck into 2 or 3 times back in 70, 77, 76 to see Star Wars. And my mom was like, you don't do that. That's stealing. You pay to go see the movie. I said, man, I would love to just have, I don't care what it is. I can be in the background as anything. I can dress up as a storm. I could care less. And the brother literally got with me and got with the agency, because I do have when I do stuff for voiceovers and stuff, I do have an agency I have to go through, because that's a lot with the guild and all that. But I'm going to have a small, very small, you may not even see me, role as a Jedi. I finally get, not a stormtrooper, I get to carry the saber. I get to be a part of the Jedi Council in a scene in a up and coming Star Wars episode. So And
Oh,
yeah,
man, it's Darth Vader calling.
it must be Vader. Hold on. I'm gonna let you handle this. I need to handle this one. Hold on.
So, good news for me. I take the simple things. And people say, we wake up this morning. It's you. You could have been woken up by a call that somebody's sick or somebody passed. I take the small things that some of my friends are doing well. My daughter called me yesterday, my youngest daughter. I talk to my daughters period. I mean, I don't use the word periodically. I have two daughters, and of course, they have different personalities. And I love my daughters, and I love what I get from both of them. And I get different things from both of them, but they're my children. And my youngest daughter, who's 28, called me, and she called me with her boyfriend. She always calls me FaceTime. What you doing? What you doing? Why are you laying down in the bed? I'm at the gym. Oh, your muscles hurt. Yes, because she knows the drill. She knows the drill. But I just think that good news, and I was having this conversation earlier today, that sometimes when we come on here, we energetic and very enthused, and nobody wants people to be down. Nobody really wants to be around people that are down. But there are some people that are going through challenges. And sometimes they get turned off when people are so upbeat where they can't catch a break or they're going through things. For instance, we're getting ready to turn the corner. After after Monday is the unofficial end of summer. Fall will be coming in a couple of weeks after this next week. And a lot of people who turn it into the holiday season, it's not always a positive thing for them. They lost loved ones. They reminisce about how they used to be with their loved ones, family during the holiday season if they celebrated the holidays, and they dread it. While so many people get in the spirit, some people just can't wait to, New Year's goes because they done. They don't really deal with. They don't want to deal with that. That's why I say we have to be compassionate for those. I wish Jax was on here because, like she says, she doesn't celebrate, the pagan holidays. But as I was speaking with her cousin this morning, I came up with an idea. I keep saying you don't have to. That's your way. That's your decision to decide how you're gonna celebrate life or what path you're gonna walk from a religious perspective. But there are other people that may celebrate that, but they may be in a hospital. They may be in a home. So even though you may not celebrate it, why can't you why can't we take some time and say, I'll feed the homeless. I'll go see the sick. You understand? Because I'm not celebrating the holiday, but for those you can bring some joy. You can bring some joy to it. What happened before in Thanksgiving with the Indians and stuff like that. I'm not saying the Indians, Native Americans. Um, that I'm not trivializing that. I'm not, because I wouldn't want nobody to trivialize what was done to us at the end of the day. But I'm just saying that it's a lot that we can do with our time. We can do with our time and to put a smile on someone's face. So that's, to me, that's what makes sense. I would tell somebody to call in, but Joe's on the daggone phone, running his mouth on some maybe business or whatever. So, but you put something in here. Let me see. Jessica Dewberry says, Michael Keith, you shared a birthday with my father. Let's see what else is in the chat. Got to take these glasses off because I don't need. Tasha K. Thanks, Casey. Tasha K is the interview that I shared with her where Kevin Samuels was a guest on Tasha K's show. And Tasha K was a person that, she was one of those Wendy Williams type before Wendy Williams or during Wendy Williams time. And, I worked with Wendy Williams when Wendy Williams pretty much came to New York. She started at 98.7 Kiss FM. And she was she did the 6 p.m. slot. She did a slot for Jeff Fox, the Fox that rocks the box, who wind up going to the morning shift. So that's how Wendy broke into radio, especially in the New York area. And then when Kiss FM made a change into their music, Wendy she felt that was a little too old school. So she wanted to go and be with the new school. So that's when she moved over to Hot 97. And that's when she came into her own. That's when she really came into her own. Boy, if you knew anything about Wendy Williams back then and some of the interviews, the interview that she did with Whitney Houston, that was interesting. The one she did with Judge Mathis, that was very interesting. Interviews out there. So so Tasha K is the person that I shared I shared with KC to watch that interview to see how, or some of the things that Kevin Samuels said and some of the things that he did and why he did that. So that's there. So thank you for that case there. Douglas Guidry said that brother Kevin Samuels was right on point. You just messy, man. What's up, my brother? My brother Sam, Mr. Sammy, we call him Sammy Davis there. Michael Keith was responding to, let's see, Michael Keith says, family, I'm 64 years old. Laura Bell said, Michael Keith looking great for age, beautiful guy. Michael Keith said, yes, Sister Laura, I was born November 9th, 1959. 59, that's how we say, 59. That's when Jessica said that she shared that Michael Keith shared a birthday with her father. Douglas Guidry, again, being messy, good news. Trump is ahead in the polls. Okay. Laura responds, ouch, to that. And Casey responded, I thought you didn't like him. Good news, Sean Peters. What's up, brother Sean? I don't know Sean for a while. Good news, watching two good brothers have great morning conversation. Appreciate that. Deuces to you, brother. Really appreciate that there. Mr. Sammy said, good news, 70 years old, health, Black man with a positive attitude. Hashtag just keep it simple. And that was interesting because we talked about that last night on our Tangy Tea podcast, which got really twangy. I was gonna say tangy, but twangy last night. But we was able to work things out towards the end of the broadcast there. Yeah, Tim Johnson says Wendy Williams with Judge Mathis calling her a cokehead was funny. And yeah, because Wendy, usually goes after people, and Judge Mathis was right on point, and they went at it, and he basically went at her, and she kind of tried to play it off and deny it, but unfortunately, as you see, as time has passed, Judge Mathis was right there. So you back, Joe?
Man, good news must be. I see. That's why I should have brought that up earlier. Good news just come on top of good news on top of good news. All I'm saying is, y'all, listen, don't look at all the doom and gloom. Ask yourself, what is the good news that you got going on in your life today? Man, I got more good news. So I just, I ain't even going to share that good news, but let's just say the following. Look at yourself and say yourself, today is a day of hope. Today is a day of victory. And today is the day that everything that I want, need, and desire, all I got to do is start going for it, and God will do the rest. That's all I got to say. You got to put something in it. You got to put something in it. You can't do it by yourself.
So as Joe said, like I said, when you wasn't here, there are people who are not sharing good news. There's people that are down. Right. There's people, like I said, we getting ready to turn the corner. Unofficial end of summer comes this Monday. And then the fall is ushered in about 2 weeks after next week. Correct. And then we get into the holiday season. And there's a lot of people that dread the holiday because their loved ones are not here. So even though some people, so there's people that, and again, I'm not doom and gloom because I understand about the good news. And you want to be positive. You don't want us to come on here and be blah, blah, blah. But I just take a moment for those that may be struggling, those that are struggling, that are having a tough time. Reach out. Don't suffer in silence, because when you suffer in silence, you don't help yourself and you may not help the situation. I learned from my ex-wife, not Hanifa, but my ex-wife's father, he said, when things look bad, he said, get a piece of paper and a pen and write down some of the things that you have to deal with, that you're overwhelmed with or whatever, and then come up with an action plan and then do it one by one. Sometimes we get overburdened because we know we got to do this, do that, to the point we don't do crap because we overburden it. But when you write it down, then you realize it may not be as bad as you thought, or as you work at it, you start to see that you are making some progress. And when you make progress, that's achievement, and then you're getting somewhere. So that's what I'm saying. People, we gotta think. I try to think of everybody when we're on this show. Somebody could have woke up and lost their loved one this morning. Right. So they don't want to hear this upbeat stuff. So we have to make sure that we are there and we send our prayers to those that need the prayers, or any kind of positive affirmation coming from us to try to uplift you, or say, we understand, we're sorry, and be supportive to you.
I completely agree with that, Brother Fatim. And also want to put this out to everybody who's listening, everybody who's in the chat, and everybody who's logged in. It's okay not to be okay. And it's okay to use, especially if you're working. Many of you have this, and it's free and it's available, and many of you don't use it. You have free counseling service through your insurance where you can sit down with somebody and talk it out. It's nothing wrong with seeking professional help. Doesn't mean you're crazy. Actually, it means that you got a lot of wisdom, because you're able to say to yourself, I need somebody who's not a friend, who doesn't know me, who has proven methods on getting me on track mentally in healing, that I can literally say, I'm not okay. I need to start doing some, just like Fatim is exercising to tone up, to get his cardio where he wants to be, to live longer. You need a mental checkup just like you need a physical checkup. And there's nothing wrong with saying it's okay not to be okay. What's not okay is absolutely not to go get help when you need help and you know you're not okay.
Yep, I agree with that. Yep. And thanks for that, Joe. And Laura Bell says, I got to tell you, Brother Fatim, you're pretty keeping yourself busy. Don't you ever rest? And then KC said, not enough, but he's hard-headed. So KC, you know, she stays on me, and I appreciate that. You need somebody in your corner. You need somebody in your corner. That's why I don't run from that there. And leave that up there, Joe. I'm gonna get to that in a minute. I'll read that. But what I will say is that's why I take some downtime. Even though I'm always rushing, a lot of people say on Wednesday night, during the summer, we haven't been on every Wednesday night doing open line online. Sometimes I don't feel like doing the show. Sometimes, you know, the way I work, I do need to take some time. And I have enough time. My job gives me 5 weeks vacation, my full-time job. Understand? I get 5 weeks vacation and carry over sometimes. So I have the time to rest. It's just that I don't want to lay up in the bed. So I need to, and not go on a vacation where I'm on an excursion that I get up early in the morning, get on some jet skis, then come back, go down to the pool, then drink and put toxins in my body. No. So I need to really take some time. So I do try to take some mental health days, and I try to do something where it's productive. So let's lead Jessica Dewberry here. I was having the same conversation last night with my aunt about the upcoming holidays. My grandmother, my dad's mother, she said 3 of her children, including my dad, lost their spouses within 1 year. My dad lost his wife last September. My aunt lost her husband this past April, and my uncle lost his wife last month. The holidays are definitely going to be hard. And let me just say this to you, Jessica. Wow. You talk about this and you still give, and you talk about, you know, you being a caretaker for a family member or a loved one. And then when I met your sister in Harlem a couple weeks ago on Harlem Day doing Harlem Week, and just the love that I got from her and the love that we get from here. Yes, that's why I mentioned that, because if I didn't mention that, you might have not put that in the chat. that we got to think of those that are going through things, because every day when the sun shines, it shines on all of us that are having a good day, and it shines on all of us that may not be having
Right.
a good day. But we have to be conscious of those, because we can share encouraging words that can make a slight difference in someone's life. Thank you,
Amen.
Jessica, for sharing that. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, the call I just got where I had to dip off, the young lady said something that really blessed my soul, but I said something back to her that she said that was a blessing to her. She said, "You sounded very enthused when you answered the phone." And I told her, I try to sound enthused every day that I speak and I answer the phone. Because I go back to my day one, to my day that I exited out my mother's womb. And I realized that every day after that day was truly a blessing from God once the knowledge of what occurred on that day one came to me. See, once again, sometimes without knowledge, you don't know who you are or whom's you are. You just wandering around because you haven't got the full story. But once I got that story, ever since that day, no matter what's going on, I try to be upbeat because I understand that life is so precious, and life can be taken away just like that. I mean, I want to say this as we're going into Labor Day weekend. What I'm seeing in Louisiana is an uptick on car accidents and fatal car accidents. Y'all need to drive and pay attention. Y'all need to make sure that you're buckled up. You don't need to be under the influence of any prescription meds, any alcohol, any illegal drugs and stuff. Come on, family. There is too many fatal. I have literally within the last week seen at least 7 fatal car accidents. One that took a law enforcement officer's life, his fiance's life, and his 2-year-old child's life. Come on, family. We've got to pay attention and understand that life is precious. And because we not the creator, we don't know what that day, that time, that hour, that second, that minute, that our hourglass runs out of sand. So definitely don't, they say that it happens and only he knows when it's going to happen, but don't put yourself in a position that your leaving is in a tragic manner. I think you got a lot of control over that. So pay attention. I know we're going into Labor Day weekend, a lot of final white parties and a lot of drinking and partying, but be careful on these highways and byways as folks begin to get out there and travel, because I'm seeing a lot of fatalities with car accidents. And I'm just saying, family, we can do better. I know that's cliche-ish, but we can do better. We can, we played it yesterday. Cam doing the thing for NHTSA. Buckle up, click it or ticket. So, and pay attention. Go ahead, Brother Fatin.
I'm gonna springboard off of something you said. Who operates under that final white crap? After Labor Day, don't wear white. I want to see who do that in the chat. Man, I'll wear white October 12th, November 18th, December 25th. If I want to wear white, I'm gonna wear white. I remember my supervisor, Lamar Dyson. We worked for Billboard magazine. This brother was one of the best dressers that I've ever met. When I got I was hired in 82. I was 82, 83. I was 21 years old. He was 25. And when he came in with his suits, man, 25 years old. When he came in casual wear, that's how we were. He wound up taking me and another brother shopping. He took us around Midtown Manhattan. We went down by Grand Central Station, went up to Bloomingdale's. We knew about Macy's and stuff like that. And he taught us how to pick our shirts out. He had, his initials there.
Right.
And I remember he came in around in December. He came in with this white outfit. It was cold outside. But it's cold. and white works in the winter. I don't understand that. So I don't believe in after what. Hey, my cousin was telling me, my cousin Julie was saying, I go up in New York after Labor Day, they don't wear shorts. Yes, we do. I wear shorts any day that the temperature dictates me to wear shorts. What the hell? We don't do all that suit and tie stuff like we used to do back in the day when we worked on Wall Street or in corporate America. I don't work in corporate America no more. I work in a radio station. We could come in, as long as we neat and respectable, we can wear what we want to wear. So sometimes I'll decide to throw on a tie because that's how I feel. But I don't have to throw on a tie. But this year I said I'm a do a little bit that to my wardrobe. I'm gonna pick it up because I'm a dresser, but I just been casual because for me, I just go back that when we put on these nice clothes, I didn't make good money. And we associate with somebody dressing good, like they make good money, this, that, and other. I make more money than I did when I dressed like that. So I don't need to play that part for somebody else. I play that part because that's how I feel. I want to feel comfortable. When I went to Chicago and I had that suit on, I felt miserable. But I did it because, I'm an extension, with Reverend Sharpton and all of that. No, I'm going to be me. You understand what I'm saying? I know how to dress for certain occasions, but I'm going to be comfortable. So I just put out there, I just don't believe in no white after Labor Day. That could make up, man. I swear to God. Walk out the house with your pants on backwards. I mean, remember, Crisscross did that.
Right.
The Crisscross, they did that. People were mocking them.
Hey, there are people out there trend setting and doing stuff that at first you laugh at it, then becomes a trend. The reason I posted this picture, not to anything.
He wanted to show off that new suit he was talking about a couple of weeks ago.
No. And actually the suit wasn't. This is not a new one. But I did want to recognize the following. Today is National Bow Tie Day.
Okay.
So to all my bow tie wearing brothers like myself and Brother Cope, I hope Brother Cope is somewhere out there. And you need to go to 100BLK.com and click on Brother Cope's bow tie business. He's got some great bow ties. But today, for all my brothers out there that wear bow ties, today is National Bow Tie Day. Unfortunately, I got to get in uniform in a few, but it sure would have been a nice day to throw on a bow tie just to be in solidarity and represent. So, it is National Bow Tie Day to talk about fashion. And man, look, I'm like you. I don't know who came up with all this stuff. But at the end of the day, some people believe in it, some people don't. And it is what it is. Go with the flow that works for you. Like Brother Fatim, I hate to say it, and you can dress very well, and I've seen you dress. But do you know I feel strange when I see you well dressed? When I see you like this is when I'm like, that's brother. Because you got me now. I'm trying to get a Clemente. Be exact, I ordered a Clemente jersey and I ordered a Stargell jersey to go with my Pittsburgh paraphernalia because I'm a big Pittsburgh fan. I love the Pirates and I love the Steelers. Let me get it started right here.
Yeah, that's right.
On, y'all.
I love it. Yeah, no, you had it right. You had it right.
Because it's on. It's on. It's back, y'all. Listen, that's why I got on this black and gold. This black and gold is to represent the Grambling State University, where everybody is somebody, and they'll be kicking off their football season with their first game of the season as they play the University of Louisiana at Lafayette Raging Cajuns this Saturday. And it's about to go down, y'all. College football is back. You just saw Georgia Tech go to Ireland, and the luck of the Irish was with Georgia Tech as they beat the number 10 team in the nation. I think it's going to be a great year. The SEC is going to be 12 teams in the playoffs this year, so everybody gets some. Believe it or not, once again, Black folks are trendsetters. Black folks set the standard in the SWAC. So don't think that the NCAA just came up with this. In the SWAC, they saw a lot of success when they decided to make the playoffs for the SWAC be whoever had the best record would host the game. So find it not strange that individuals who are part of the NCAA committee that are from the SWAC had the opportunity to put that out there, and the NCAA went with it. So even in this new playoff scheme that they have in the NCAA, a lot of teams are going to get a home game that they get to play. That's a playoff game. That's going to be big for the school. It's going to be big for the city. It's going to be big for the revenue coming into the city and coming into the school. Family, listen, can't tell me we don't get things started. Though folks try to tell you that we dumb and slow and all this, we are really some of the folks that get the party started. And I said what I said.
Yep. So I'm going back to the chat. Rhonda Harrison, Brother Fatin is like Speed Racer, go, Speed Racer, go, Speed Racer, go. I have to take time out. Douglas Guidry says it's a fashion thing. Eddie Bonnet says, I never heard of it. Jessica Dewberry says, not me. I wear white and open-toe sandal as long as I can. Let me see what Casey says exactly to what Jessica said. Darlene Bryant says, my mom used to say, don't wear white after Labor Day. Casey comes back. I don't think it's as frowned upon as it once was. Wear what you want. Rhonda Houston says, sister in CA, California, told me that people in New York wear white so people can see them. I said, huh? How ridiculous does that sound? Somebody lied to you. Eddie Bonnet said, where does that come from? Can someone explain a separate explanation from Douglas Guidry? But so I don't know where that came from. Eddie Bonnet, Douglas Guidry says to Eddie Bonnet, wear corduroy and leather during the summer. So what's the problem? Laura comes, since knowing the lot of you, including my beautiful brothers in the panel, I truly feel like I already have a family. That's why I call y'all family more than friends. And Jessica Dewberry had responded that, you know, I'm family to her. She loves me, and I responded back that she's family to me as well, and I love her back as well. Casey says, I don't know where it came from, but it's crazy. You understand what she said? Oh, and Jessica Dewberry said, that is a sharp fit, Brother Joe, when Joe was sitting up there with his derby hat, looked like he gonna get a cane and do a little soft shoe there. That's what he said. Jessica Dewberry, Brother Fatin, dresses cool, casual. You know, so these are some of the things that out there. Casey says Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin is married to my cousin Kia. Okay.
And Mike Tomlin, who is the coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, who is a proud member of Kappa Alpha Psi, since you're talking about canes and soft shoeing. I don't shimmy. And Jessica Dewberry put something up there. I did not know that you are part of the strike, and strike again family. The FAMU Rattlers, yes, not only are they SWAC champions, they just won the SWAC MEAC Challenge, which was broadcast on ABC, prime time, Saturday night, as they played. Who did they beat? They beat my former coach, Dawson Odoms, who used to coach the Southern University Jaguars, who I do work for, even though my degree says Grambling. And I will always be a Grambling State Tiger. I promise you that. But they beat Norfolk. He coaches now for Norfolk State. So Jessica, HBCU family, come on now, the SWAC champs. You're right. They are not only the FAMU Rattlers are not only the SWAC champions, they are the Black National Football champions. They got it all. SWAC championship, National Black Football championship, and hopefully we will be crowning a new one this year, because we got a big season in front of us, and it's wide open. It's wide open.
Let me do this here, because Joe gets me on this sometimes. So for those that don't know, SWAC means Southwestern Atlantic Conference. That's athletic. What SWAC is.
SWAC, Southwestern.
Athletic. The Southwestern Athletic Conference is considered one of the premier HBCU conferences in the country. So when you hear SWAC now, you know what that means, because a lot of people don't know that.
And the other conference is the MEAC, the MECA, which is the Mid-Eastern, I believe that's correct. Mid-Eastern. Yeah. So you got the SWAC and the MEAC, which are the two premier um, what they call FBS conferences. Then you got the SIC and the CIC, which is the lower colleges. So for those of you out there who know about the Lane colleges, about the Langstons, you know, some of these historically black universities that are kind of on a small scale, but they have their own conference too. So you know,
So
I
what
just tell
my question?
people,
Go
yeah,
ahead,
go
Joe.
ahead, go ahead.
My
No,
question is, what is, for those that are in the chat that have went to HBCUs, like I said, I picked a HBCU that I was going to go to, but I decided not to go to, which was North Carolina A&T, which was Aggies, and I was an Aggie out of
yeah,
SUNY Farmingdale as well. But SUNY Farmingdale was not an HBCU, it was a traditional college that a lot of us went, but it was an agriculture technical college, just like North Carolina A&T and Greensboro South in North Carolina, excuse me. My question to those that have went to HBCUs and have went to the quote unquote traditional schools, what is
PWI.
the yeah, what is the difference? What is the difference? What do you get more out of by going to a HBCU? Now, don't say, oh, Fatin, you should know that because
No,
you're culturally out. The reason why I'm
no.
asking that, because I want people to talk about their experience. I can easily talk about what's the difference. What is the experience that you get from an HBCU by attending an HBCU that you don't get from a traditional school? I want to
So
hear.
so 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 put yours in the chat. I can definitely talk about this because my bachelor's degree does not come from an
Bachelors,
HBCU.
where did this bachelors come from?
I,
Okay.
I am a proud alumnus of the University of Maryland at College Park, which is a PWI, which is a
Predominantly white institution. Huh?
right, which you would call a traditional college. Um, I, I got to Grambling State University, and I can say this, and this is just my personal feelings, my personal opinion. The blacker the college, the sweeter the knowledge. And here's why. I felt that I was cared for at Grambling. Like I do now. I work for Southern. You saw me with a Southern jacket on yesterday because I do work for Southern University. I consider myself a son of Southern. Though I have a degree hanging on the wall that says Grambling State University. And Southern and Grambling are big time rivals. But the difference was if I didn't show up to class at Maryland, if I decided to sleep in or whatever, I didn't get the love I got at the HBCU. Maryland was like, you done paid your money. If you come, you come. If you don't, you don't. If you pass, you pass. If you don't, you don't. It wasn't that way at Grambling. At Grambling, I worked for, but even before I worked for, I can give you my first experience at Grambling State University. Me and Captain Ty Davis gets off a Greyhound bus in Grambling at the bus stop in our military uniforms. We're both enrolled in Grambling State University, and a Cadillac pulls up with an old man in it, and we didn't know who the old man was. And he says, you soldier boys look lost. And we said, well, we just signed, we just enrolled in school here. We're trying to get to, we in our grad dorms. It was Eddie Robinson, the world
Mm.
famous great Eddie Robinson, picked us up and drove us to the dorm and talked to us about Grambling. And it was funny because just because some folks would say, well, you should know who Eddie Robinson is. No, we didn't. Like I tell folks, a lot of folks don't know these great names at these HBCUs. You wouldn't know them if you saw them because you really never saw them. So here I am in Louisiana. Everybody knew Eddie Robinson, but I wasn't from Louisiana. So, he drove us. Later on, I get to work for this man. It was just seeing your people have love for you and talk to you in a manner that was uplifting. Coach Robinson, one time, I was getting ready to leave Grambling State. I'm going to give this story and I'm going to leave it alone. I was getting ready to leave Grambling State. And I was sitting down and I was mad and pissed off about a bunch of stuff. And Coach Robinson picked me up and drove me way out into the country to a place called Simsboro. And the conversation he had with me ended like this. And I'm just going to say exactly how he said it. Joe, Grambling State was graduating Negroes long before you got here, and they'll be graduating Negroes long after you leave. You need to put your big boy drawers on, tighten yourself up, get your ass to class, and graduate. Now get the hell out of my car and walk your ass back to campus and think about that. And he put me out of his car about 5-6 miles from campus, and I had to walk back. And that was one of the, along with a few other things that had happened in my life, one of the pivotal moments that changed me forever. Man, stop whining about stuff and put your big boy drawers on, tighten up, and do what you need to do to get the job and the task done. Because there are folk out there that wish they could be where you at. And to me, that type of love, I never experienced it at a PWI. I did experience it, though, at a HBCU. That's just my story.
Douglas Guidry says HBCU schools have beautiful Black folks, especially beautiful Black women, the pageantry, football, etc., which is true.
Yeah.
Because I've been to homecoming at Howard, you know. Rhonda Hairston says, is HBCUs more concerned / concentrated on the whole of the Black person while making sure the students got their education? Michael Key says, Grambling State used Southern University in the Bayou Classic games. I don't know what that means.
Not really. Southern actually has the better record in the Bayou Classic at the present moment. But I can say this. This was said by a person who graduated undergrad at a HBCU and got their graduate's degree at a HBCU. HBCUs were designed to meet you where you at and to get you where you want to go. And that was Clay Cane. If you know Clay Cane, he's on Sirius XM. I know Clay personally. He's an author. He's a best-selling author, New York Times best-selling author, and he has his own The Clay Cane Show on Sirius XM. And he graduated from an HBCU, and he also has his his master's degree from an HBCU. And I agree with him. HBCUs were designed to meet us where we were at, because you have to understand, a lot of these great athletes that you see now at these Alabamas, Michigans, Texas, LSUs, Florida States, back in the 50s and 60s, they couldn't go there. They couldn't go there. No, they couldn't go there. The HBCUs had the Jerry Rices, had the Doug Williams, had the Aeneas Williams, had the great athletes, the Aaron McNairs, you know, just to name a few. You know, just to name a few. Think about this. Spike Lee, Samuel L. Jackson, Morehouse men. Morehouse is a HBCU. Our vice president, Kamala Harris, Howard University, HBCU. Thurgood Marshall, first Black Supreme Court Justice. I'm just saying, listen, family. Listen, there is a plethora of great folks,
right,
who have attended and graduated HBCUs.
Right. So let me say, so one of the things, and even though I didn't step on campus as a student, I've visited more HBCUs, and like I said, I knew that after going to the PWI school that I wanted to experience it from the HBCU, because I tell you, I don't want to say my experience on the PWI, the traditional school, was horrible, but it was not cool. I didn't know about keg beer parties. Of course, you learned about that in National Lampoon movie and what's the name? Not School Days. School Days is Spike Lee. But there's another movie with Rodney Dangerfield there when he went back to school. But for me, there was a sisterhood and a brotherhood that was established when you went to. There was a common denominator that we started off all Black. Now, we all came from different backgrounds. But it gave us the opportunity to communicate with other folks that look like us and learn other folks that look like us that had different experiences. But one thing that we knew is that we're Black in this country. And when we're Black in this country, and the reason why I'm stepping on the HBCU, and the reason why it was created because of racism.
Mhm.
And there was a situation, there's a thing in the air of pride when you go to a HBCU. You understand? Oh, it's a prestigious thing of getting into Harvard and this, that, and other because of your grades and where you're at mind-wise. And I got that in how society used those schools as standards. But we've had some great folks that have come out of great HBCUs. And to me, it's a pride thing. And the experience that I experienced at the PWI, even though I met different people, Black, white, I met some good white people. I really did. Even though I had a bad experience, it was a bad experience with my next door neighbor. He was drunk, and when he called my girlfriend the N-word. But you know, things happen, life happens, and you hopefully he learned from that. Hopefully he learned from that, because I have nothing to learn from. I stood my ground. I'm the same person that I was then. You know, I stood my ground that if he don't apologize, there's going to be some things going to be turned upside down on this campus. And I guess I'm going to get kicked off campus. But he apologized. And it's a learning thing. There was I can't call her name, but she was white. She played on the girls softball team, and I was a baseball guy. And I used to go to her room. Sometimes she came to my room. You know, we didn't hook up, but I'm just saying she was cool and we conversed. So it's a learning process. It's good when I did go out to PWI that I got a chance to meet some other folks that were not Black, that were really good people. So when I went to the cafeteria, I sat with whoever I chose to, because I was popular. But you know, there was I sat there. Sometimes I sat with the girls' basketball team. Sometimes I sat with the guys' basketball team. Sometimes I sat with my guys on the baseball team. Sometimes I sat with the girls that played on the softball team with majority white folks. But when going to a HBCU, a Black school, it should instill pride in you, because you should understand why they were established and that you're continuing a legacy. You're continuing a legacy that our ancestors that paved the way, that did great things out there, that you can follow in their footsteps. So that to me is one of the things that when you go to class, it enriches you to say, you know what, I'm receiving this baton from Sha'Carri Richardson, or I'm receiving this baton from Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, those that fought and stood up and stood and fought for us to be better, but not only to be better, but to get better in this country. So to me, that instills pride. Just like I see my boy Eric Winch in here. We play softball all over the city. He knows we play with white, Spanish, Dominican, Black. But he also knows that when we come into a Black league, when we play, we're competitive. But there's still a sense of commonality amongst us as his brothers, because a lot of times, a lot of people look at Black brothers don't play baseball. Black brothers don't play softball. It's left to the Hispanics, the Dominicans, whatever. So there's a pride there. There's a pride there. Go ahead, Joe.
So, and I also want to put this out there so people have a clear understanding about how human beings and humanality works. A lot of these HBCUs were created by, funded by, and supported by non-melanated folks who believed in equality. White folks who were abolitionists and white folks who believed that just because you're Black doesn't mean you need to be educated differently than somebody who's not Black. And I just like to name just a few names here of famous folks who have graduated from HBCUs that are not athletes. Katherine Johnson. Had it not been for her, there would have been absolutely no way. The movie Hidden Figures was literally about her. She graduated from West Virginia State University, HBCU you may not even know about. George Alcorn, who graduated from Howard University, also big at NASA. Reverend Jesse Jackson esteemed graduate of North
A&T.
Carolina
A&T.
AT&T,
No,
uh,
A&T. A&T.
A&T, W.E.B. Du Bois, graduate of the Fisk University, where I was very proud that the orphanage that I was in when I was going through my adoption process, the lady over the orphanage, her son winded up being one of the presidents of Fisk University. Um, man, just the names go on. Earl G. Graves Sr., Morgan State University. You know, the great late Bob Hayes from Florida A&M. You know, just I had to throw that out there. You know, man, Spike Lee from Morehouse, uh, Alice Walker from Spelman. You know, these are just a few names of folks who have attended historically Black colleges and universities and have did great things. You know, and the next great HBCU story is being orchestrated and performed right now because there are young folks going to the Southerns, to the Gramblin's, to the Howards, to the Texas Southerns, to the Prairie Views, to the Florida A&Ms, to the Hamptons, to these historically Black colleges and universities, even the small ones, even the Stillmans and the Lane colleges, you know, colleges that were formed to better us as a people, because at that time we couldn't attend the LSUs, the Alabamas, the Georgias, the Florida States, the Miamis, the North Carolinas. No, we had to go to South Carolina State. You know, we had, you know, we had to go there. And let me tell you something, outside of some of these athletes that you know, there are great thinkers, great philosophers, great people who know our culture and are not culture vultures, and they work to improve our culture every day. And those people I
Exactly.
have to ring the bell for and give them a round of applause. And there she is, our beautiful life strategist, art therapist, speaker, and author. She in the building. Sister Jax has arrived 13 minutes past the hour. Lego. Welcome to hashtag Truth Be Told. What's
Hey,
Yes,
happening?
what's up? What's
hey,
up? Oh, you know what? Lincoln University also. Lincoln.
Lincoln,
That's where I went.
Lincoln,
Oh, and look, I
Lincoln.
have on the Lincoln colors, the blue and the purple. Ooh, ooh.
And
Blue and the
Cheney. Cheney isn't Cheney University. My brother went to Cheney. I have an older brother that went to Cheney.
nice.
exactly.
I was
Exactly.
graduate school at Lincoln.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Third
Let
grade
me
law school. Yeah.
exactly. So let me read out a couple of names here real quick. Good to see you, Sister Jax. I already informed folks that you had to deal with some things this morning that popped up so that you would be hopefully joining us later. I'm going to name a couple of names. I'm going to see if you know them. Thomas Garrett,
Come on now. Keep counting.
Levi Coffin, the Rankin family, Garrett Smith. Does anybody have an idea who those people are? Do you, Jax?
Inventors.
No. Joe?
I'm gonna be quiet. Handle your business. I'm looking for the people in the chat. I'm looking for them. I'm looking for them. I'm looking for
I
them.
just named the names. You don't know who these people are?
Oh no. I'm saying I'm being quiet. I'm letting the people in the chat see. Do they answer that? Do
All
they
right. So
answer
I
that?
throw those
Somebody
names
also
again.
put Mary
Thomas.
McLeod. You could add Mary McLeod Bethune to that also. But keep going. Keep going.
Okay.
So these names, Thomas Garrett is another name, but I'm not going to name that person.
Freedom
Levi Coffin, the Rankin family, and Garrett Smith. But say it again, Jack.
I said freedom fighters.
Like
Like abolitionists.
Yeah. Wow. Bang, 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 bang. White abolitionists.
Come on.
White. Let's go through this. So when Joe said this, I was thinking about HBCUs because there's some HBCUs that have been started and funded by white folks.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot.
A lot of them.
So what I'm saying there is that I don't want this show to feel like it's going to get corny. We call a spade a spade. If it's racist, it's racist. And if it is racism, it is. Systemic racism, it does exist. But that don't mean it's not good-hearted white folks out here. So these names are some of those white individuals who assisted Harriet Tubman and others during the Underground Railroad. So let's get a little history lesson. Thomas Garrett, a Quaker from Wilmington, Delaware. Garrett was one of the most active and prominent white abolitionists. I can't mess up that word.
Abolitionist.
Abolitionist. Got it. Abolitionist. Abolitionist. Got it. I got it. Abolitionist. He provided shelter, resources, and guidance to many escaping slaves, including those helped by Tubman. Levi Coffin, known as the president of the Underground Railroad. Coffin, a white Quaker from Indiana, was instrumental in aiding many escaping slaves. His home served as a major stop on the Underground Railroad. The Rankin family, Reverend John Rankin and his family, were prominent abolitionists in Ripley, Ohio. Their home, perched on a hill, was a key station on the Underground Railroad, providing shelter and guidance to those seeking freedom. Garrett Smith, a wealthy New York abolitionist, got that word, abolitionist. Okay. Smith provided financial support to the Underground Railroad and was involved in various anti-slavery activities. He was also a close ally of John Brown, another abolitionist. Now, there was another name that I didn't mention, William Still. Though he was African-American, he still worked closely with white abolitionists. He documented many escape stories and collaborated with other Underground Railroad conductors, including Harriet Tubman. He worked with white abolitionists in Philadelphia to coordinate efforts. The reason why I pointed that out, as we were talking about the HBCUs, I wanted to see those that for the endowment that Spelman got was a white woman that gave them a large endowment. So what I'm trying to say is that for us to do things in this world, we need us. We need us as a people that need to do better, but we also need other good human beings that's in other races that are good people to work together.
Beings. I give you a round of applause for that one. Good human beings.
Oh, I just wanted to do that this morning. I mean, I didn't plan. This wasn't planned. So you know that this wasn't planned. It just comes up.
You know what's interesting? With Mary McLeod Bethune, I was doing some research within my family, and I actually found that one of my ancestors on my father's mother's side, which the last name is Dudley, there was one guy, Edward R. Dudley, who became the the ambassador to Liberia during Truman's era, I believe. He became the U.S. ambassador to Liberia, and then a big politician in Harlem, and did a lot of governmental stuff. But also, I did further research and found there were ties to Mary McLeod Bethune, because one of my other ancestors, I think Bethune had learned some stuff under her, because there are educators previously in my family, even back to like slavery times. But yeah, so it was so interesting to see a letter that was written from this lady, talking about, working with, Mary McLeod Bethune and teaching her things and stuff like that. So that's quite fascinating. But yeah, there were definitely a lot of other white people that established some of these HBCUs. And we just really found out about it more so recently. It just became more knowledgeable because a lot of people had no idea.
Well, a lot of folks, because listen, the propaganda machine, and there are those out there who want us to stay divided. And like I said, I don't know what it's going to take. I don't know if it's going to take somebody from another planet to show up on this planet in a violent way that all of a sudden we realize how human we are. And that's the sad thing, that you see what's going on throughout the world, and sometimes the hatred, and you ask yourself, how could somebody hate somebody that bad? Think about it. When you really think about it, Sister Jackson, I sit down sometimes and say, how could you hate me so bad that you enslaved my ancestors?
Exactly.
And not only did you enslave my ancestors, even now that we're not enslaved as we were back then, you still try to keep me in some level of being in bondage. That you really don't want me completely free.
Absolutely.
That we see conversations, and I'm going to go there. We see conversations about what's going on in the political landscape right now with abortions and all this. But at the same time, you don't want me to abort a baby, but you don't want to give me what I need to, once that baby shows up in this world, to make this baby a productive citizen of this place.
Mhm.
You know, it ceases to kill me how on one hand you say one thing, but on the other hand you do another. That's why I tell y'all, forget what they say. I got to watch what they do.
That's
You know, I
right.
was just looking at the news. I have the slightest idea what happened at Arlington National Cemetery, but eventually something very strange happened yesterday.
Mhm.
And once again, you got to start saying, hold it. I'm reading right here where it says Trump claims if Jesus was the vote counter, he would win in California.
Mhm.
Did you hear what I just said? Right
Mhm.
now on CNN, they have a thing that says Trump claims
Mhm.
if Jesus, Yahweh, Jehovah, was the vote counter, he would win California. See, but watch this. Y'all call out everything else, but y'all won't call that out. Bruh, come on. Keep Yahweh's name out your mouth.
Yeah. You know
Because
what's interesting?
that's crazy.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting. I was at my doctor's office yesterday, right? And you know, we were talking, he's he's a very wise, guy and very politically savvy. He's like a historian, and he does a lot of work in the community. Like he's a dope doctor, right? So I said, who do you think is gonna win, Doc? And he said, oh, hands down. And this is a white guy. He's like, hands down, you know who's gonna win. He said, this train has started and there's no stopping it. He said, now a few months ago, I wouldn't have been surprised if, the other party won. But he's like, right now, no way. He said, I don't think she's gonna end up getting 2 terms, but she's definitely gonna win. And there are already some people in line to then take her place for like the next, the couple of terms, after that. Consecutively. So he was talking about like Buttigieg and like some other people, but he was like, yeah, she's definitely gonna get in there. So it was just interesting to hear him, this white guy, talking about it so positively, like that. So we shall see. But I still reiterated, like, shoot, but we still got to take care of our own homes and do what the hell we need to do, because whoever gets in there, it is gonna be what it's gonna be. And he was saying the same thing, like we need to be preparing.
Right. You got to be on top of your game. I'm going to pass it over to Fatim. As I tell folks, at the end of the day, politics is local. That's why I had to make the point a couple of days ago when folks were talking about these horrible Democrats and how they have just messed up everything. And my quality of life ain't worth a flip because these Democrats are in office. Well, if you live in the state of Louisiana, there's been a long time. It's been a long time since. Now, we did have a 2-term governor. To be exact, we only had 2 governors that were Democratic. That was Mrs. Blanco, and she served, I believe, 1 term. I don't know, was it 1 or 2 terms? And then we had John Bel Edwards. But outside of that, every other governor in this state has been Republican. So even if they did serve 2 terms, which is 8 years, you put 8 and 8 together, you wind up. If you've got all this, 16 years ain't going to change years, decades of policies that have been put in place. You just can't do that. That's just like you telling me, no, if you've been smoking for 50 years and all of a sudden you stop smoking for 10 years, the damage that's been done those 50 years might not, you might live a little bit longer, but whatever been done from smoking 50 years, it's hard to reverse that. You would be an anomaly. You would be a unicorn. You would be a individual who, hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. So wait, so what else y'all been talking about? What else I missed earlier? Because I wasn't even able to tune in. So
you missed us talking about.
Missed the good news?
I got something I got one for you, Jax. I'm putting you on the spot.
What you got?
So, and it started with a conversation I having with your cousin this morning.
Dang, y'all be boo loving early, boo loving late.
Damn right. Don't worry about what we doing. In my business. Don't be in my business. You know what I'm doing. I'm killing. But we were talking about, and I brought up on the show how, like, you talk about you don't celebrate the pagan holidays, and Teen is cool with that. I'm cool with that. But we was talking about how that during the holiday season, which I've had you on our show and before about this, during the holiday seasons, a lot of people don't like the holidays because it reminds them of their loved ones that might have been the transition or how things used to be. You understand? A lot of people, kids have moved away and they're by themselves now.
Mhm.
And their holidays, if the kids can't come home now, that they're by themselves.
Mhm.
So I was thinking how, if we don't celebrate those holidays, can we do something good for those that do celebrate the holiday, but we're not celebrating those holidays? So for instance, you know, I've been saying this for the longest. I've done this before, but I've been saying it because I wanted to do this with my kids on
Mhm.
Thanksgiving. I wanted to do when they were little to
Mhm.
first take them to the Macy's parade. That was the first thing.
Okay.
But the second thing is to that they look forward to Thanksgiving dinner,
Mhm.
and I wanted to take them to those that was less fortunate to assist them in
Mhm.
feeding them and that. So I want to get your opinion on
Yeah.
you, Jax, not other people, because I believe in that. Even if I didn't celebrate Christmas or whatever, that doesn't stop me from visiting a children's ward. Because if we're about humanity, if we're
Mhm.
about helping people and bringing a smile to a face, we don't have to partake in the holiday.
Yeah.
But what we can do is do what is called life service to
Mhm.
those during that time that brings them some kind of joy where they have a little bit more gloom in their body, in their
Yeah.
life. How would you respond to if you had the opportunity, because you're about service,
Yeah.
you help children, you help people in the community. So I'm just curious if
Mhm.
that came up. I'm not saying you would, I would be surprised if you didn't do it, but I would
Be
respect it
surprised,
from a
my brother.
religious point of view. But
Be surprised, my brother.
yeah, I would be surprised. But if it came down to Thanksgiving and we were going to feed the homeless out in the street,
Mhm.
would you be able to do that and separate that you're not celebrating the holiday, but you're doing a day of service for those that unfortunately it touches them in a different way, even though it's a day,
Mhm.
it touches them differently. How would you handle that?
Yeah, so be disappointed because not at all, right? So I try to govern myself according to scripture, right? So scripture tells me to stay away from the appearance of evil. So if it's Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever holiday, now granted, before Jax was the one out there feeding the homeless, feeding the, those, substance misuse issues, giving out gifts to the kids. I was that chick, right? But guess what? I'm that chick 24/7. 365. So I still will be that chick, but definitely not on those holidays, because my goal is to still stay away from the appearance of evil. So we all know historically, and especially if you don't know, when you look deeper into it, those holidays are all pagan, and the origins behind it is all some wicked stuff. Even though we try to commercialize it and put cute little advertisements out to make it look like a beautiful, fun, loving, family oriented thing, the origins of it are not that. They just dress it up and mask it like that so that we continue to celebrate wickedness, right? So no, I wouldn't give, anything out or serve food on those days, not at all. However, I will still, guess what? Those same homeless people, they need a meal the following Wednesday,
Mm.
they need clothes on that Thursday, and on that Sunday. So I will still make sure I'm available to still show them love and provide them with what they need any other day out of the year, except for those, I don't know how many pagan holidays, maybe 12, because it's almost once a month, damn near. I'll do it any other day but those 12 days.
Got it.
So
So let me just say this so people will get this disclaimer here,
mhm,
because we had this last night.
mhm,
So one day when we bring on, it could be somebody that's religious,
yeah,
it could be somebody that is culturally in tune.
mhm,
I'm not challenging my sister because I asked her and I respect my sister,
yeah,
but get ready because I'm going after that person if they say what Jack says. I'm going
okay,
after them
got you.
because I have my, it's not, again, I respect that. I'm
Mhm,
just saying, and I understand that because like you said, you're 365. I
mhm,
think that sometimes, again, I got to respect what you say. I
mhm,
just think that sometimes we become so fanatical that we forget about the human side of us.
yeah,
But I'm not challenging Jax because
yeah,
that's
I
my
got you.
sister, but
Mhm,
I'm just telling you, I don't want it to be a female. When we
mhm.
go there, I want it to be a man. And me and that brother, we going there.
Yeah,
Okay. So that's all I'm saying.
I got
Okay.
you. So,
I'm just letting people, because I don't want people to say, well, you was quiet on Jax, because I love my sister.
Right.
And I respect my sister, because it's going to get heated. And I don't want to, and I'm not going to do that to my sister.
So
but you can go there. Go ahead, Joe.
No.
Let me say the following. Let me say the following, because we are a team, and guess what? We may have the conversation off mic about this and go into it a little bit deeper. But at the end of the day, no, not on mic, because I got Jack's back. Jack's got my back. I got Fateen's back. Fateen got my back. And at the end of the day, we got too many folks in here. We know who you are. We know who you are, and we don't know who you are. But in the end of the day, a lot of y'all want us to get into it to the point that y'all say, look at that, look at that. They need to go their separate ways. Well, baby, let me tell you something. Hashtag truth be told is here to stay. And what would not be a better time for me to do this?
Wait, before you go, I still want to elaborate real quick. I ain't ready to jump yet. Are you ready? Come on. I ain't scared. Come on. No, for real though. Like for real. It's so serious to me, because like I give all the time. So if I'm staying away from that appearance of evil, I don't care what anybody says, because guess what? Like I said, those people, they're going to need food other days. They're going to need clothes, other days. But who says that? I don't even accept a turkey. You know how they give out free turkeys and all that stuff? Don't even give me no free turkey, because guess what? Those turkeys, they give them away for Thanksgiving. They give it away even the grocery store for Christmas. So I don't want that. So I stay away from it entirely. Like even on those days, I don't even cook my classic Thanksgiving meal. For me, it's just a regular day. Now, if the kids or my husband or whatever wants that particular type of meal, similar dressings and stuff like that on another day, sure, we could do it on a Monday or do it on the next week or whatever. But I totally just stay away from it, because guess what? God originally in scripture gave us a whole bunch of high holy days where we still feast and we drink and we party and we're with family and we give to others. We decorate our homes. So there's a whole bunch of other holidays that I still lavish in and enjoy, but just not those pagan ones. Like, no, I'm not buying Thanksgiving paper plates and cups and no, I stay away from it all. My house is decorated, around different feast days, still with the lights. You know what I'm saying?
10 toes down, 10 toes.
Yeah. For Rim, like all these other holidays, I'm wrapping up gifts, giving them to my kids, but it doesn't have Christmas wrapping paper or holiday wrapping paper. It might just be a random pretty color or something like that. But we still give gifts and still exchange, but we're honoring the Most High during that time. Right. So I just don't get caught up in a pomp and circumstance and just follow the train and do what everybody else does. Even if I say I'm still going to make it another name, you know what I'm saying? So shoot, if you ain't eat Monday, Jack's going to make sure you eat on Tuesday, basically.
And Jax, I like what you said, because it had a lot of substance in it. Homeless folks are homeless 24/7, 365. What are you doing? And listen, a lot of you only doing it because y'all clout chasers. That's why y'all do it and post it. Look at me. I'm giving this away. Look at what we're giving away. No, just do it.
If I got some extra set of clothes in the house right now, I'll drive down to Penn Station to the homeless area and walk around and be like, hey, you need some pants, or put it next to somebody's tent. I had even taken my kids. My son started this little organization, Books for Blankets, where we would go out, not at Christmas time, not at no time, and go down and drive through the city of Newark. Wherever we saw a little tent or a homeless person, we would jump out the car and give them a little blanket so that they would hop into the car.
And again, I told you, we go down this rabbit hole, but I'm not debating. I don't have to debate this one, so it ain't gonna get harsh. It's just that I feel, and I'm glad I've been part of something like or a religious organization, but I'm gonna move how I choose to move. I'm gonna move how I choose to move. And and I stood my ground on a couple of things, and other people came at me. Oh, brother, this, that, and other. You got to do it this way. No, I'm not doing that way. My wife's not coming in there to take no cold showers. If she can't be caught, if she's not going to be part of the 144,000, no, she has sickle cell. She's not. But then the imam told me, brother, no. I remember I called him about a blood transfusion. He called me back at her bedside. He said, brother, we use common sense.
Yeah.
You use common sense. Is to save her life in the technology, use a blood transfusion. So what I'm saying is, I don't know what Jesus would do, but I swear to God, I swear that if it was Thanksgiving and Jesus had to feed the homeless, he would feed the homeless and not worrying about it being a pagan holiday. I just feel, because we get so fanatical. The scripture says, don't partake or don't become part of. There's a difference between partaking and becoming part of and doing a good thing for a person. It could be Thanksgiving and your neighbor knocks on the door and is hungry, and it's Thanksgiving. Would you give them something to eat? It's not Thanksgiving dinner, but you're feeding them. You're doing a human thing. We get so to the point that we get so fanatical that we forget about the human side that people need, and that when we do it on a quote unquote pagan holiday, but we're not partaking or become part of it because we know, and we're not disparaging God. If that's the way we're moving, then why can't we do what humanity has called on us 365 days? We don't skip a day. Every day is God's day under God. The sun shines every day, not just on Thanksgiving or Christmas, or it don't shine. So why can't we help people on Thanksgiving or Christmas if we're about humanity?
Okay,
That's
so
right.
let me
And you
get,
know
let me
what, I was
go. Oh, wait a minute.
Uh-huh.
Let me drop a little scripture on this. Since we always say that we base this off of scripture. It does say in the Bible, there is a story where the Pharisees and the priest at the time checked Jesus because Jesus was healing a man on the Sabbath day. And Jesus's response was, would you rather for me to keep this day holy, or would you rather for this man to walk? And so the man walked. So I'm just saying, since Brother Fatim did bring it up, it is in scripture where even as man saw it as a high holy day, that certain things weren't supposed to happen, the Son of Man, Jesus himself said, what would you have me to do? Keep this day in the manner that you say keep it, or that I heal this man? And guess what? He healed the man.
That's right.
So all I can say is I agree with you, Jackson. I know that you base what you base, and I respect you. At the end of the day, I'm not on left or the right, because I'm at a new place in my life. I'm not religious. I'm very spiritual. And I understand this. His ways is not my ways. His thoughts are not my thoughts. And I don't know everything. And guess what? I say, Lord, if today I did something that you did not want me to do, but I thought you did want me to do it, please forgive me and give me guidance. So that's all I have to say. So the mic said.
And that sums it up. His ways are not our ways. So the Most High could do stuff that we are not to do, right? So even if somebody knocked on my door, like what you said, Fatim, if somebody knocked on my door and they were hungry and it was Thanksgiving day in the world, I would still feed them. You know what I'm saying? Whatever I have. I might have salmon, string beans, and mashed potatoes, but I'm still going to feed you. But am I willingly going to go out and be passing out Thanksgiving plates to people? Absolutely not. Not on that day. You know what I'm saying? Not on that day, but the next day, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe the day before, because guess what? It's a whole bunch of other people that might still go out on that day to participate in it. Right. Yeah. So even with toys, when I do my workshops, even when I do my workshops and stuff, I'm constantly giving out toys and bringing joy to, children and, different other high holy days. I'm giving out stuff. But like I said, just not on those days, because I try to stay away from it. Because it still is reflective and indicative of participating in it on some level.
Right. So I'll just end with this. Hold on, Joe. So I'll just end with this because I got it, and I got it. I'm not trying. I am trying to prove a point. Yeah. And I say this, and again, each person, like Sister Jax, Joe, myself, we have to go certain ways. I just tend to look at things common sense in from another point of view. And I just think that sometimes we become fanatical with a lot of things we do, not just religion. Don't just block it off. Like we become fanatical with what we do, even the way we eat. We change our lifestyle. We don't eat this, we don't eat that. And that's fine. I'm not talking about fanatical with eating pork or whatever. I'm just talking about fanatical to the point you eat like a pigeon. You understand? Yeah. You can gradually do things in life. The point is, the reason why I say we become fanatical. Now, I don't know what Sister Jackson do. You ain't got to explain. I'm not putting you on the spot, Sister Jackson.
Mhm.
but I was having a conversation. And if this is a Bible,
Mhm.
this Bible, if this is a Bible, I throw it down. It's a damn book with words and ink. It ain't a holy book like that. The words in it might be in a sense of what the holy word is, but the physical book, some people say, oh, don't take the Bible or the Holy Quran in the bathroom. Why not?
Mhm.
Why not? Why not?
Mhm.
This book is not the lessons from it. You
Yeah.
can learn from any book.
Mhm.
God didn't come up and write this particular Bible here, but what we do is we become fanatical. And when we become fanatical, some that become fanatical worry about saying it instead of doing it. That's why I say the people that do the work and quote less, but do the work, to me are closer than God than that can quote the book, but don't do the damn work.
Amen.
With that being said, let's go to the phone lines. We got a call on the line. Welcome to hashtag Truth Be Told. Question or comment? Welcome. Let go.
I got a comment, man. This is Doug.
Go ahead.
I got to side with our resident theologian, Sister Jax, on this. That we celebrate most holidays and we don't know its derivatives. So, I kind of see what's going on. And Sister Jax, surprisingly, I'm siding with you on something this morning. A shame of your two counterparts on the panel who's using religion and their own ideas. Hold on, guys. Who's using religion? Who's using religion and their own ideas to kind of smother what you have going on? So, Sister Jax, I stand with you this morning.
Hold on, brother Gidry. I need you to stay right there. I'm not.
No.
I'm not smothering. Wait a minute, sir.
You use that scripture out of context, Joe.
How? That scripture is clear. Wait a minute. Be exact. I might pull the scripture up. There is a parable in the Bible. Hold it. This is Jesus.
The Sabbath wasn't a holiday.
Wait, whoa.
That is a holy day, brother.
That is a holy
That's a holy day that Jax even talks about.
Holiday.
Hold on.
What do you think? You backwards. You are backwards.
Brother Douglas. Here's what I'm saying. On a day that was designated a holy high day, Jesus did what they said you should not do on the holy high day. Jesus said in the scripture, what would you have me to do? Honor the holy high day or heal this brother? So at the end of the day,
most holidays aren't Christian holidays, brother.
Okay,
most of these holidays, they're not the same.
I didn't say holiday. I said holy high day. We're not talking about that he healed this man on Christmas, Thanksgiving, on Valentine's Day. He healed this man, as the scriptures say, on the Sabbath. And I didn't say that to discredit Sister Jax. I said it where people could have a clear understanding that we don't see things the way God see things. That's why I said after that, I wouldn't discredit it. Jax is one of the most astute theologians I know, for a person who does not carry the title theologian. But Jax reads her word, she interprets her word, and she goes to God for clarity on her word. That's why I gave that line of conversation of what I just said to Jax, even though she don't even accept it. Just like, for example, just because you get an honorary doctorate don't mean you a doctor. I know that because I got 3 of them. Hold on. But there are folk out there that walk around and say, swear to God, call me doctor because I got an honorary doctorate. You ain't got a PhD. You ain't put into work. Somebody decided to bless you, and all of a sudden now you want to be called doctor. That's perfectly good and fine because the paper says you can use that title. But I'm just the type person, before you give me a title, make sure that I know what I have and have earned it. At the end of the day, Sister Jax earns the respect of me. And the reason I brought that scripture up was not to debunk her, but to say that God's ways are different than our ways. And even though we will look at it that way, and watch this, he didn't tell the priest that he was wrong. He just asked the priest, what would you rather I do? He didn't say this day ain't a high holy day. He just said, what would you have me do? Honor the day or heal the man?
Mhm.
That's
Yeah,
all.
what do you?
That's
I
all.
mean,
Right.
I just we first of all for you still come out stifling. The point that Joe read that scripture was basically to prove a point of taking a holy day. That's what Sister Jax celebrates. She celebrates holy days that are in the scripture. She don't celebrate pagan holidays. Me and Sister Jax are on the
Right.
same page about pagan holidays. I'm not trying to get her to celebrate anything. What I'm saying is that sometimes we become so fanatical in religion that we get away from humanity, and that what Joe did is prove what I said, that what Jesus did on the Sabbath, that a lot of y'all would run around and say, oh no, you can't do this on the Sabbath, but Jesus that y'all follow did something on the Sabbath. And that's what Joe did that. And that's what I'm saying, is that sometimes you got to use common sense there. The scripture is a
If you
blueprint
can.
to get somewhere. Everybody don't need the scriptures like everybody else. People use it where they're at, trying to get somewhere. It's not the end, it's a tool to get somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brother Gidry, thank you for calling in. Brother Eddie Barnett, I'm saying this from love and joking and a joking spirit. I'm saying this from all the jokes in the world. When you said this, boy, I almost spit up all my coffee. My man said Douglas attends Jimmy's fucking church.
Yeah, are
Okay,
crazy.
now let me just read this. Healing. Let me just say this real quick. Healing a woman bent over 18 years. Luke 13, 10 through 17. Jesus heals a woman who has been crippled for 18 years on the Sabbath. When criticized, Jesus points out the hypocrisy of the leaders, comparing the act of healing to untying an animal to give it water on the Sabbath.
Because on the Sabbath, because they were even forbid to do any husbandry, right? Even the animals, right? So even like in Matthew, it goes on to say that for the tie in with your story, Joe, it goes on to say at the end of that story, it says, for the Son of Man is Lord even on the Sabbath.
Right.
The Son of Man is Lord. So what God can do and what Jesus can do is different than what man can do. They instructed us what we need to do, not work. But he's like, look, it's like a parent. I'm working. No matter what, I got to work. I got to do what I got to do. But kids, these are the rules in the house. And this is what y'all got to abide by. So if I say I'm going to go by the book and the Lord says, look, me and God, we can do whatever it is we need to do because our job never ends. But for you, you take that day and that's the rest day and you keep it holy.
So you're telling me that if Jesus fed, if he's sitting up there with the disciples back there on them rocks, and he decides to feed somebody on the Sabbath,
come on.
You think those disciples ain't gonna get up and feed and help him feed? Come on, y'all. Let's do some common sense here.
No, but you're saying still feed them on the Sabbath, right? We can still feed people on the Sabbath.
Well, absolutely. I'm just saying the point that he healed someone on the Sabbath where he wasn't supposed to do anything. And, you know, what Jesus was just trying to show you is that it comes down to common sense. Even though we have these things and laws, we understand them. Because the reason why God sent his son, because I don't look at Jesus and God being the same. God cannot become less than himself. God is not man walking on earth and God in the universe. That's not true. So God, I don't look at that like that. So for instance, he did that to send amongst us as a people as an example of what we should be doing. But we have to use common sense. Again, I'm not telling nobody to change. I'm just saying that at the end of the day, I got it what Jack said, and I'm cool. I don't need to go no further. Jack's wanted to elaborate on it.
But you know what?
I'm cool with it, but I'm gonna take a lot. I'm not a religious scholar, but I'm willing to challenge any religious scholar on this. I'm willing to do it. You know, if I get my ass handed to me, I get it handed to me. But I think I can stand on enough common sense to say that a lot of times some religion leaders become so fanatical that they don't operate in common sense.
Well, you know what, Fatim, if you even look at Oh, damn it, man. I forgot what I was about to say. Something popped up on my phone.
I said, because God just waved that clean. He took care of that one real quick.
Oh, wait, let me pull it back together. Lord, get back to me. It's there. No.
He wiped that slate clean real quick.
Even people on Thanksgiving or Christmas, you know, a lot of organizations get together, they get on their matching shirts and they go in the community and they do all this and that, and they're gung-ho and, oh, we're going to give back to the people today. They go and give back today. And then after that, where are their works? You know what I'm saying? So it's
Right.
all,
I agree with you.
all a lot of pomp and circumstance. You know,
I agree with that.
I want to be like the, like
a lot of vanity. It's a lot of vanity. It's a lot of vanity.
Exactly. But yet they saying, oh, I fed people on homeless, and oh my God, you wouldn't feed homeless people on Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody comes by me, or if I have extra food in the car because I'm coming from wherever and I have food, you know, yeah, I'm still gonna feed you, but I'm not participating in this big old, you know, turkey.
And your point is correct, Jax. Is correct. That's why I use you as an example, Sister Jackson. The reason why I use it as an example, because you do it every day. You're not caught up in the pomp and circumstance. That's why I utilize you in this example, because I wanted to hear what you had to say, because I wanted to see if you would say, and again, you're not doing it in the name of Thanksgiving. That's why I said on Christmas, could you visit a children's ward? Because during Christmas, the kids look at things differently. And if you could bring a smile to a child's face by going and reading a book, by helping them on during that time where they're stuck in a hospital, during a time as kids, they don't know about religion and this, that, and other. Would you do it? And I just said, for me, even if I didn't, for me, I would do it, because I'm making a difference in a child's life. I would tear up right now, because I feel I could, if I had the opportunity to do that, even on that Christmas day, to bring them joy. I'm not partaking in Christmas if I don't celebrate it. My family is not. We're just doing a humanity thing during Christmas to touch people that do celebrate that day, but they're kids. That's all I'm saying. When do we use common sense there? That's all I'm saying.
And once again, I like to go and reflect to that piece of holy parchment that has words in it. There is an apostle called Paul who says, I, in order to spread the gospel of Jesus Christ, need to sometimes become what I need to become, to whom I need to become it to, so that they can hear the word from me. Because if I come in the manner I need to come in, they won't comprehend the word. Now, understand, like I said, I'll say it. I, as a non-religious individual, but a person who considers himself spiritual, understand that even in the conversation we're having right now, I need to ask for forgiveness at the end of this show, because I'm pretty sure I've said something or did something that was not pleasing in God's sight. But his ways are not my ways. His thoughts are not my thoughts. All I'm trying to tell people is, like we say all the time here at #TruthBeTold, we're not telling you how to think. We're telling you, read it for yourself, ask the Most High for direction, and begin to think the way that he wants you to think. Because I am convinced that the Most High can send two folks on two different paths to get to the same destination. That's all I got to say about that. With that being said, it is 6 minutes. 6 minutes to the 10 o'clock hour. And Jax, it feel like we need to go longer because you just got here. So I'm going to throw this out there. I wasn't going to do it. But I am willing to stay 15 to 30 minutes longer if that's
15.
What
I'm cool. 15. I'm cool for 15.
15.
All right. So okay, since it's 5 minutes, and that means
is there anything that Sister Jax want to bring up since we put out things? Is there anything you want to bring up, Sister Jax?
Come on, Sister Jax. Come on, do what you want to talk about.
What do I want to talk about today, y'all?
Come here.
What's
talk to me now? Talk to me.
Talk about travel. Let's talk about travel. Who likes to travel?
Hold it. It is Labor Day. Hold it. Labor Day weekend, and this is supposed to be one of the big travel weekends. You're right. It is. It's travel.
Yep. And they say Thursday and Friday is going to be crazy for travel. So if anybody's flying out Thursday or Friday, be prepared, leaving enough time. Use mass transit if you have to. Try to keep as many cars off the road, so that and everybody get there safely to their destinations. And no drinking and driving. Drinking and driving is whack as hell. I don't know how I'm alive. As much as my parents was drinking and driving with me in the car, I'm like, Lord Jesus.
And let's
Go ahead.
start this on today, on this Wednesday.
Shoot, with me driving the car, I don't know how I made it home at the time.
We're going to say Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, so y'all will know. Monday, hashtag Truth Be Told, we'll be giving you the best of, because we're going to enjoy our day off. We're going to take a day off, and since everybody else says that is a day that they refrain from labor because they call it Labor Day, we're going to refrain from laboring on this podcast. So you'll get a best of on Monday, but we'll be back Tuesday with the doc, with What's Up Doc. If you want to inbox us or email us any question you might have for the doc, let me put an email address up here where y'all can know how to email this, that you can email it. Do I have the email address up here? No, I don't. I'm going to put the email address up so you'll know. Hold on. Yeah. So look, we won't be here.
Yeah.
You just,
Go ahead, brother.
as he's doing that, Jack, you talked about travel, right?
Yes.
So, I look back at when I went to Jamaica 2 years ago, and I went to Cancun last year. And I room by myself. Since Anifa's not here, I room by myself. I usually go with my family. And I room by myself. And the reason why I do that? Because besides, I want my bathroom time to myself.
That's true.
But on the real issue is I'm not going for how many days, 4, 5, 7 days. And if my cousins or family wants to party and do what they do, that's fine. That's fine. But I'm going to take some time for me. So I remember I was leaving a function. They was getting ready to go on a party. And I said, I'll be right back. I knew I wasn't coming back. I went to that room, cut the light out, put my Bose speaker on. And then I get a call a half hour later from my oldest cousin. What you doing? I'm in my room chilling. Come get me. And I walked her to her room. She said, I'm going up here to watch TV. And the reason why, because when we talk about travel, a lot of times we travel and we go on these cruises. And if you go on a cruise, it's 24/7 party. It's 24/7 casino. It's 24/7 entertainment. When we talk about travel, and there's nothing wrong with the travel, but for me, I'm not taking away. I do the 4-wheelers. I go on the excursions, but I'm going to do, if it's 7 days, I'm getting 2 to 2.5, almost 3 days of me, because it's no way that I'm going to come out of the hustle and the bustle to go into, enjoying myself, but then come back and still exhausted, still not mentally, a little bit mentally more clearer. You understand what I'm saying? So how important when you travel, not breaks, like Joe took a break this week, this past weekend, and he went away with his wife, not that kind of thing. But when you go on vacation, how do we juggle that? Now, remember, there could be family vacation and then there could be that downtime vacation. But how important is it to y'all in the chat, and also to y'all, to when you take vacation and you go to an exotic island, this, that, and the other, what are you trying to achieve doing vacation? That's my question. What are you trying to achieve doing vacation?
Yeah. You know what? I know for me, I'm about to actually go on vacation. And it's funny because Darlene Bryant says in the chat, you never sleep on cruises. So I'm about to go on my first cruise, me and the kids, and I want to sleep. I want to sleep, but I want to have fun. The kids are excited to go to the teen, whatever the kids do or whatever. But I still look forward to just some solitude, some just prayer. I look forward to reading some books. I'm packing some good books. I'm not into like the whole party life. Even when I was younger, I would go out to the club sometimes and, do whatever, but I'm not like that party chick. Like, I can't wait to go on a cruise and just like turn up. And I'm not a drinker. I used to be, but years ago, but I'm not a drinker. Like one little sip of something had me tore up. So I don't care about that part. I'm not eating a whole bunch of food, so I just want to just go and just kind of like chill and just enjoy life. I love the water. I love fresh air. So I just want to go and really have some just downtime to just, self-reflect and self-examine and just have some peace and tranquility just for a bit. I don't want to be traveling, do a whole bunch of partying and stuff. That's not for me, but it's for some other people. But thank you, Darlene, for saying that in the chat. What do you say?
And brother Fatim, you know this because we were in New Orleans together for what, 4 or 5 days? 4 days, four or
Mhm.
five
Yeah.
days.
Which was
So,
work for us.
right,
Yeah.
right. But then other
Took
parties,
some time. Yeah.
other parties did not partake in no concerts,
Ugh.
did not partake in anything. It was their time
Mhm.
to, I think they curled up with a good book in the hotel room.
Yep.
I talked to him one day. I said, "Where you at?" Well, I'm just walking around. I'm gonna grab me a little small bite to
Mhm.
eat, and I'm
Mhm.
gonna sit here and enjoy this fresh air blowing on my face. You can. I dipped away, and I often do this because it's only going both direction. If I decided to go to Galveston,
Mhm.
Texas, which
Mhm.
Galveston has a wonderful beach line and waterfront. It's about 4 hours away from my house, going toward the west. If I go
Okay.
toward the east, I can make it to Gulf Shores. I can make it to Alabama. Be exact, I can make it to Gulfport, Mississippi, that has a wonderful beach also.
Mm.
Sometimes I go to these areas and never touch the beach. Never. To be exact, very earnestly, the last time I went, I only touched the beach for a few minutes because we were really just relaxing, enjoying ourselves,
Mhm.
being at a place that we were sitting on our balcony and just having conversation. I believe that vacation, real vacation,
Mhm.
when you're taking any days, I say anything over 2 days, should be a time of you really rejuvenating yourself,
Yes.
getting yourself back, because the hustle and bustle of life take a lot out of you. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, the hustle and bustle of life take a lot out of you for you to leave and be in more of a hustle and bustle of life because you're on quote vacation, but you're moving more on vacation than you do in the hustle and bustle of life.
Right?
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Sometimes it's a good thing. I've been on cruises because I've been in the military. I know I got a good Navy guy in here, Eddie Barnett. He one of them guys who made sure that when I needed a place to go, he had a nice little boat to get me there.
Mhm.
But it's nothing more relaxing, even if you're in the military and you're in the Navy, just to be out there on that open ocean and have a time to just breathe in the good
Yeah.
air and just watch the water and realize in this thing called life how minuscule you are in the comparison of how big everything else is. I'm just
Absolutely.
saying. I'm
And
just
for
saying.
me, like once I come back, I'm scheduled to have my hip replaced a few days after I come. Yeah, but I don't know, maybe 5 days after I return. So I look at this trip in a different light. So I look forward to that. But now there's some other, snafu with is some lumps apparently on my thyroid. So now yesterday the doctor's like, we need to get a biopsy immediately to make sure you don't have cancer. So I'm just like, I'm gonna have a good time, because who knows what the future holds, but I know who holds the future. So I'm
Mm,
not stressed out. My
mm.
spirits aren't going to be down. I'm not going to be, ho hum, woe is me. We all face trials. We all go through stuff. I know the reality of it, that I can have surgery and not wake up off that table. I know I can have surgery and never be able to walk again. Like anything could happen. But you can't just be like sad and downtrodden and just give up. So I'm gonna be pushing on, and I'm gonna have a great trip. So I look forward to
Yeah.
it.
Let me just say this and then I'll read that. Keep that up there. So let me just say to Sister Jackson, we spoke this morning around 8 a.m. Eastern time. So again, to my sister, she know I've always been in a corner and always gonna be in a corner. And my prayers are there for you, but not only my prayers, but my support whatever. I know you have family and friends, but you can call me anytime. Like I said, I've been woken up 3 o'clock in the morning from my wife's girlfriend because she was having a medical issue. I'm not a doctor, but I'm a person that gives support and whatever. So, Sister Jax, our prayers are there with you. Not
Thank
being
you.
cliche, as you know how we roll. So
Mhm.
that's there. Just want to say that.
Thank you, King.
Rodney Jones, Reverend Sharpton calls Rodney Jones the mayor of Queensbridge. That's right, down in Long Island City. And Rodney, I saw your video of the dumping grounds in Long Island City, Queens, there, my brother. And then he said, and across the street, somebody living in a tent. Well, that's a little bit better than living on the street without you living with a cardboard box, man. But what he's saying, and then he shows the background of these high-rise buildings. And I bet you in those high-rise buildings, understand what I'm saying? Gentrification has come to Long Island City as well. let me read Rodney Jones because I haven't seen him on this podcast. He said, I just returned from a Royal Caribbean Allure of the Seas cruise to Nassau, Bahamas and Coco Cay. It was my first flight since 1987. When we reached Nassau, Bahamas, I didn't leave the ship. I rested and checked out the entertainment on the ship. When we arrived at Coco Cay, I went out to the island. So thank you, Brother Rodney. Thank you for joining hashtag Truth Be Told. I haven't really seen you that much on this podcast, but he's a strong supporter of WBLS, strong supporter of Keeping It Real with Reverend Al Sharpton. He's at church on Open Line on Air show, but he is, and he's always at the National Action Network Saturday rallies. Unfortunately, he lost two of his sisters recently. So our prayers and condolences goes out to you, Brother Rodney, Mr. Mayor. And but other than that, brother is a dedicated NAN supporter and NAN member, National Action Network.
Amen. Amen. You know, family, thank you to everybody who's in the chat. I'd like to give a few shout outs to a few places that I can see that have been tuned in. Big ups to Chicago, Illinois. Big ups to New York City, to Brick City, to Patterson, New Jersey. I see y'all logged in. I see some people logged in North Carolina, South Carolina, the great state of Tennessee, my home state. I see you in Nashville, Knoxville, and Tennessee. I see you in Jackson, Tennessee. What's happening? Also to Mississippi. And listen, talking about blackness, let me switch something here. Me and Jax talked about this. Do you know the 3 most populated black cities in the United States of America? I'm going to give them to you from 3, 2 to 1. Number 3 is Baltimore, Maryland. Number 2 is Detroit, Michigan. And number 1 is Jackson, Mississippi. The reason I did that, all 3 of those cities are being represented right now on hashtag Truth Be Told. I see y'all out there. So BMO, Detroit, and Jackson, Mississippi, what's happening? What's happening? And tell a friend to tell a friend, share this with a friend. Let me put it out there again so you know we are still asking you to click like and share, to join us, to be a part of our hashtag Truth Be Told community. We are broadcasting live on Instagram at the JDMS, but definitely be a part of our YouTube page where you can go back and see all the hashtag Truth Be Told and all the great guests we had, from Redman to y'all name some guests we had. I just started going out there.
They can go back and see. We had so many guests out there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I just want to. I want to just say, because we move on so quick, I try to grab when you say it, because then you move on. We be in baseball and then on Planet Z. So I got to get in real quick. So you said Jackson, Mississippi. So I'm going to reach out to Rukia, however you pronounce it, Rukia Lumumba. She is the sister of Chokwe Lumumba, who's the mayor of Jackson, Mississippi. I'm good friends with her. Had her on Open Line Online before. I've had her on the National Urban League because I produced for the National Urban League under Morial as well. And I'm going to bring her on because her brother is really, really busy. But she was running for office. Here's another young, dynamic sister who comes from a strong, activist, political family. Her father was also the mayor. There you go. There you go. That's Chokwe Lumumba.
Hey, there he is.
Here you go.
There he is.
Got your buck. There you go. So I want to bring her on and to have some conversation, because we need to talk to some young people. There's another young sister out there that part of the Black Lives Movement that's out Midwest that's doing great work. Going to bring her on. When September hit, I said it. We gave 6 months. Now we're going to turn this up, baby. We're going to turn this heat up right now. All right. So let's turn this heat. We could turn, I was going to say, turn the eye up on the stove, but we gotta send KC a couple of cookbooks before she turn that eye, because she'll burn the house down.
It is 10 minutes.
KC.
It's 10 minutes past the hour. We said we were going to go for what, 15?
Yep, 5 more minutes.
Okay, so with that being said, I think it's about time that we start doing some closing comments then. So Sister Jax, I'm gonna start off with Brother Fatim. Since you just came in, we're gonna make you last before me. Brother Fatim, give me some closing comments, brother.
All right, you sure? All right.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Time to take off the glasses. Brother
There you
Fatim, I don't know where this gonna go, but it's gonna go here. All right. Let's remember that while it's important to hold fast to our beliefs and values, we must also recognize the greater call to serve humanity. Not celebrating certain holidays due to religious conviction is a personal choice rooted in faith. But let's not forget that every day presents an opportunity to do good, uplift others, and make a positive impact in our communities. Common sense and compassion should guide our actions, reminding us that doing good works isn't confined to specific days. It's a lifelong commitment to making this world a better place for everyone. Stay true to your beliefs, but never miss a chance to do good. Until next time, keep speaking your truth and living with purpose, Brother Fatim.
That part. Sister
Brother
Jack.
Fatim. And I'm out, Brother Fatim. So
You look like a Muppet just now. Because you know my words hit home.
Hold up.
I don't
Hold it. Mana. Do 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 do. Mana. Mana.
I don't give a damn what you say. I ain't going to no bookstore. I ain't feeding them. Somebody else will feed them, not me. But anyway, what's up, y'all? It's Sister Jax. If nobody told you today they love you, just know who loves you. Who loves you, y'all? Your girl, Sister Jax, loves you. Be safe, be blessed, especially if you're preparing to go somewhere. Just, travel wisely. Don't drink and drive. Don't smoke weed and drive. Don't be on a bunch of pills and drive. Just drive if you can drive. And just drive carefully. Don't text and drive. Just be safe, because I'm seeing on the news left and right, all these young boys and girls and children and families are all getting killed by senseless, reckless acts behind the wheel. So we all have to do good and we all have to be better. So until next time, Lord's will, I'll see you guys soon. Peace out and be blessed.
That's what I'm talking about, family. Listen, I ending like I always end. On the behalf of Brother Fatim, Sister Jackson, myself, be better today than you were yesterday. Do something today to be a blessing to somebody somewhere. You don't have to know them. That there's no earthly way that they can pay you back for what you are doing for them. You don't have to post it. You don't have to brag about it. Just do it. Release it from the heart and watch the Most High give you so much more back to you. You reap what you sow. Always remember that there is no secret, absolutely no secret, what God can do, what he has done for others, he will and he can do for you. But when God is with you, nothing or no one can stand against you. We'll be back tomorrow. It will be Turn Up Thursday, Turn Down for what? We're getting ready to get up out of here, y'all. Y'all be blessed. Have a great day. Enjoy this Wednesday. It is hump day. We out of here. Y'all be good. Peace. Keep it locked. Yeah.